installment, 31 for 31. Four. Memory's kind of fading me. We're looking at Buffalo Sabres. Kind of like the Arizona Coyotes. They showed a bit of glimmer, a little bit of hope. But in the end, they fell short. Very, very much so short. Like midget.
Very, very much
not like
so
a 5'6"
short.
short. Like a midget short.
So inappropriate.
Do you guys have a one word to describe Buffalo?
Disaster.
Good. Like it.
Disaster. They weren't that bad, were they?
I'm talking about the offseason.
Ah, gotcha. I think hopeful.
Okay. Mine was irrelevant. And I'm talking about the past season.
Mm-hmm.
Finished with 76 points. 27th in the league. Tough. Goals for, 226. Good for 24th in the league. Goals against, 271. 23rd in the league. Boys, figure it out. You've had like 4 years now with Jack Eichel.
They're wasting his prime, dude.
Wasting it. Risto, he's deteriorating.
He wants to leave.
He wants out. Yeah, he wants to get the fuck out. And Darlene's just starting, and he's just getting a sniff what Buffalo's all about. Last year, the year prior, O'Reilly left saying he lost the love for the game. Fucking goes to St. Louis, wins a cup. Everything's hunky-dory. I really think there's something wrong in Buffalo, and it's not because they don't have skill or they don't have maybe certain depth players. I just think there's an attitude that guys are just looking out for themselves.
What you're touching on?
Yeah.
I think it starts with the one guy who's all over the billboards for that team. It's your captain, 9, Jack Eichel. This guy
100%.
is already on his third coach in the NHL in his short-lived career. He basically told the owner and GM, I'm not playing for Dan Bylsma. It's him or me. So they got rid of the coach. And everyone's talking about how Jack Eichel's waiting to break out, all this. I think he's broken out already. I think he is what he is. I think his attitude needs to change, though.
And, I will say, do you guys remember, just while we're on the topic of guys quitting, do you guys remember Patrick Berglund and what happened to him?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How he just didn't report to the team?
Yep.
After a while.
That was part of the Ryle and O'Reilly trade.
I had to find myself. Like, he just didn't want to. He said, fuck it. I don't want to play.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it means, if it's Buffalo, he knew there was a problem in Buffalo and he just chose to step away, or if it might have been for personal reasons. But that just doesn't bode well for a team that is, basically begging for talent to join them so they could do something.
Yeah.
Guys are already quitting left and right. Now you got this new guy who doesn't even want to step foot in your locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And he put a lot of money. He left a lot of money on the table to do that.
Oh, yeah. I think
it's a tough scenario.
And it's tough to look at. You're looking at a team that everyone's saying they're so dysfunctional. But then they go and hire a hockey coach who wasn't even a hockey coach for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
I move is questionable at best. Kind of. But you know what? Every year, I always look at the end of the year and go, okay, so 2 or 3 coaches were fired, whatever, GMs were fired. And it's like a recycled bin. Teams are just dipping their hands into that bin and picking out whoever has the most experience. Not saying that their newest acquisition is, god awful, but it's something new. It's someone new. At least they're trying something different, which I think they had a really big problem with up until now. They had a terrible cycle of guys coming in, learning this bad mentality, old guys going out, kind of like just like breathing a breath of fresh air and going, okay, I have a new set of wheels on my life now. I think they got to just inject something new. And I think, not saying it's a bad move, not saying it's a good move. We're going to find out, but it's something different. And I think that kind of says something.
I mean, I agree. I will say though, they haven't even touched on their goaltending situation.
Mm-mm.
They're
No,
Dude, Carter Hutton
they're
is
still
not
in
a
the
starting goalie.
no.
He's
And
not.
Linus Omark was the guy that they thought could get them out of the dirt after the whole
Yeah,
Rodgers
and he
fiasco,
didn't.
and he didn't.
And
He's just
imagine we just talked about Boston, who had what 9 combined shutouts or 11 combined shutouts between the two tendies. These
Mm.
guys have 2 combined shutouts, and
Yeah.
if you tabulate Allmark's play on the other team, 87 games total between the two of them. 2 shutties.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
Pure trash. They
Yep.
didn't even
And
touch it.
You're fired.
And you look at their goals against, right? You're looking at 271. Yeah, it's not the highest in the league, but it's just way too high to even think about making a push for the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. And in a Atlantic division that's getting, tougher and tougher, like we touched
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You got Tampa, Boston, Toronto, Montreal, Florida. I think all of them are going in the right direction. And then you got
Mhm.
Detroit, Ottawa, who are in rebuild mode. And then
Mhm.
Buffalo is kind of just stagnant right in the middle.
Stagnant in the middle, yeah.
And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Ottawa had a better year than Buffalo did this year, or even
Mhm.
Detroit, man. Because
Mhm.
when you got the young kids coming in and they got something to prove, they want to do whatever it takes to get some dubs. So maybe they can scrape by with 30 some wins. And then
Mhm.
Buffalo, they got nothing going for them. Everybody wants to leave the team.
Yeah.
And like you said, if Eichel doesn't step it up, man, it's going to be a pretty pathetic year yet again. However,
Yeah.
they did
And-
do a good job of getting more talent to surround these guys.
Yeah, but I think you also have to look at Jeff Skinner. I don't see Jeff Skinner scoring 40 goals again.
Nope.
Mm.
Right. There was
Not
that
even
stretch.
close.
There was a stretch last year where everything he touched, it was just going into the net somehow.
Yeah,
So
that's very true.
I don't think that's kind of production's going to keep itself up at all.
Well, it was kind of interesting, right? Like I think in November they had a 10-game winning streak. They were
Mhm.
second in the division.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was blown away. They went 10-0.
it
20
was
points
looking good.
right
It was
there.
looking good.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure we all thought the same thing. Oh, look, Buffalo. They finally have something here. And then after that, they went on an 11-game losing streak. Like
Hmm.
to have those fluctuations just shows that they're not ready to be even a
Mhm.
wild card contender.
Right.
Home games 21-15-5, away 12-24-5. That away number has to get better.
Hmm.
It
Yeah,
has
that's
to. And if
exactly
it
what I was
doesn't, you're
thinking.
going to be looking at another bottom feeder season.
Yeah.
Like
But this is a good
PP
example. Sorry, a good example of a young team who's still trying to I see what Buffalo's trying to do. They're trying to get these guys to grow together, right?
Yep.
But they're still just every time they get like a decent player, they're just turning them over, and then some guys don't even want to come and play for the team.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
so
hard part, man.
it's just like I'm looking at their player stats and like okay, Rasmus Ristolainen is on the ice against the best lines every night. This guy's a -41. Like, buddy's shooting the lights out at Augusta, but fuck, is he shit on the ice? You know, like he's playing PGA Tour on easy mode, but fuck, buddy, stop the puck at once in a while, you know. But yeah, like you were saying, their road record is really brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
PP
it's
percent.
tough.
PP percent was just under 20, giving him 16th place. PK was 8%. Good for 12th. So, 80%, I should say.
80%, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I wrote my circle or my zero a little too small. It looked like it was part of the percentage icon, you know? So listen, good for 12th in the league, which they're average. You know, some average teams are going to make it into the playoffs just by sheer luck of other teams being shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can get that PP percentage up to about 20, you can get your home record to maybe, 20 wins, 15 losses. You're looking at another 10, 20 points. So then you're sniffing at a wild card. And I think this isn't the year for them. I still don't think they improve. But if they were to, it's got to be in those places.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thoughts for 2020 or 2019?
It's just a team that doesn't bring any excitement for me, you know? Every time I think about them, I'm just like, it's Buffalo again.
Yeah.
It sucks because they were like Sean said, man. When they went on that winning streak, I was actually like enjoying
Yeah.
watching them. I
I was
thought they were
pumped.
flashy, they looked good, and then when they started going downhill, man, the wheels came off the wagon. The wagon broke into pieces. It was just disastrous.
Their wagon had no wheels.
It had no
It
wheels
was
to begin with,
fucking
I guess.
flying
Huh?
down the highway.
It's basically a
Flyers.
shoebox with a bunch of guys trying to fit in.
They got paddles, not steering wheels.
So I
Um,
guess for me, the real question is, um, you know, will they finish dead last or right before dead last? When I said
so
hopeful at the start, I basically meant that they seem to try to be reconfiguring their roster to build on, to get a bit of depth moving forward. But they're like you guys said, they're nowhere near there right now.
Yeah.
they do have some players to add. Or do you have another point you want to make before we move on, Tom?
No, I was just gonna say when we get to our players to watch, but
Yeah.
for me, it's not actually even a player; it's the coach. I really want to see what this guy's gonna do. He's gonna come in. I mean, Christ, they hired this guy over Skype phone call. Like that's like we're getting to like Ottawa Senators like of a joke franchise territory, with what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
But, yeah, I
That's
really want to
tough.
see how his relationship builds with Eichel. I mean, I get it's going to be a two-way street. Eichel's going to have to take to him, and he's going to have to deal with a bit of Eichel's like prima donna attitudes. But that's the guy I'm looking out for. But I don't know. They're not going to do it for me this year. Definitely not.
Yeah, for me, it's not a player either. It's just the goaltending position in general. I look at their 12 forwards right now that are projected to play, and I don't see one guy apart from Michael that deserves to be on anything better than a second line. They're not. There's not enough skill in that group. And look, if you don't have enough skill up front and your tendies are trash, then like forget it, man. Just pack your bags and get ready for the off season already.
Yeah. They brought in Brandon Montour at the end of the year. I like that move. It's a young D. Again, it kind of depends on what they do with him now. If they fucking let him go to the garbage bin again and I'm one of their, I don't know, sweltering pieces of shit that just fall off the face of the earth, that's their decision. They also brought in Yokiharu from Chicago, who I thought was actually another good pickup. So now you have Dahlin Ristolainen, Montour, maybe Jake McCabe or Yakiharu. Yakiharu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then you got Scandella and Colin Miller at the end. To me, that's a pretty solid top six. Obviously, they might have a seventh or eighth D they might slot in there. The player for me that has to take the next step is Casey Middlestat. I thought last year being his rookie year, Jack Eichel, he might have gotten, 50 to 60 points. Not even fucking close. I'm pretty sure he didn't even crack 20 points. Or no, he did. Sorry, he cracked 25 points. Okay. That needs to get up to at least 40 for me. If you're going to be your second line center or even third line center, if you're playing second line power play, you have to be able to contribute in some way. If you're not, and I know maybe Middlestat isn't the player, but if you're not scoring, there's guys in the NHL that don't give a fuck. They will go out and bang bodies left, right, and center until their fucking head's bleeding. They have like 3 concussions. If you're not willing to get dirty and dig hard for some of those loose pucks, there's no fucking chance that this kid is going to make it.
It's funny to think that like Alex Nylander, like they were hopeful about the kid, like, and he's just another guy that like, just got buried, man. Like just no shot from the get go. Watch him flourish in Chicago, eh?
I'm kind of hoping he does, just to say fuck you, Buffalo. But at the same time, I want Buffalo to turn the page. I'm done with them being shit.
Like, dude, I don't know,
tired
man.
of hearing them. Oh, Buffalo lost 5-2 again. They have no goaltending. It's Jack Eichel, and that's it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see that for any team.
No, that's it, man. It's just I don't know. It's funny to think about. Just like
I'm kind of hoping Dylan Cousins can play a role. Their young rookie, 84 points in junior there, 68 games played. He looks promising, but again, It's the mentality that Buffalo has. If he comes in and they don't, train him well, keep him out of the dirty cycle, he's just gonna fall right into it.
Well, dude, I don't know. Just again looking at that roster, man, they're all NHL ready players. So I don't know, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like they went out of their way to get some third line guys that are NHL proven. So I feel like they might not even give their young guys a chance. They might actually try to battle it out with this
Yeah.
crappy
Oh,
roster.
they also
that
brought
have.
in Johansson,
Yeah,
which I forgot
Yeah,
about.
Marcus.
Which
Yeah.
but
that's
that's
a good
it. Like what? Yeah, it's good, but like that's not where your team needs anything. Like you need goaltending, and you need some guys that go hard in the paint, not fucking concussion syndrome over here that can't stand up straight.
Tough.
No offense to him, he had a good playoff.
Anything else, boys?
No, fuck these guys.
No. Yeah, let's
All right,
wrap this
moving
one
on.
up.
Sponsors.
We don't have
I've
a
never had a
sponsor.
sponsor in my life.
All righty then. Well, this episode was brought to you by Bic. Yes, the pencil company. Without them, we couldn't write shit down, and our show would be a little garbage bag. So thanks for coming in clutch. Bic boy.